MoneyFit Live. My name is Todd Christensen, Education Manager at MoneyFit and author of Everyday Money for Everyday People. Today's topic is the credit score range. What credit score range is and what the different scores mean. We're going to go ahead and jump right in here. Let's talk about your start with the Fico score, or which one is the best score. What is the most common credit score range? Is it 0 to 99, 280 to 850, 300 to 850, 330 to 890, 830, 350, 850? Oh my goodness, there's so many different ones. Think about this. If you were to create a credit score, what number would you choose? There are thousands of credit scoring models and ranges out, over 1,000 here in the U.S. There are a couple of the main ones that we're talking about here. But what do you think is most common? It is actually a 300 850. If I were creating it for the typical consumer, it would have been 0 to 100 or 0 to 1,000, 1 to 1,000. But that's the thing. Credit scores were not created for consumers. They were created for lenders. So it doesn't have to make a whole lot of sense. It doesn't have to be logical or rational. They can start it at 300 and go to, say, 850. Why not? That's what the most common credit scoring models go to. Like I said, over 1,000. These are just a few of the more common ones. And even within the Fico scores, the Fico company, which is by far the most common credit score used, there are a variety of ranges. So you can say, well, what's your credit score? And you can spout out 780, but it just depends on which credit score, which company is creating that score, and which one of their any number of scoring models that it refers to. So have to understand that things vary quite a bit. What is a FICO? Okay, FICO is a score developed by the company called Fico, and it's a measure of consumer credit risk. It's basically an attempt to take old or previous activity on your credit accounts and predict how you're going to act credit-wise in the future. Are you going to make payments on time in the future, or are you going to default or miss payments? That's the main purpose of the credit score, the FICO score. It takes especially recent behavior, because the recent behavior is the best predictor of future behavior. And so here's a quick little history of FICO. You got here in 1956, literally Mr. Fair, Bill Fair, and Earl Isaac founded a company they called at the time Fair Isaac and Associates, I believe, or Fair Isaac, and then which became Fair Isaac and Company and Fair Isaac Company, and eventually changed their name to FICO, F for Fair, I for Isaac, and Co for Company. So it's been around since 1956. Just 2 years later, they created their first credit score for an investment company. A little over a dozen years later, they created the first automated scoring system, credit scoring system for Wells Fargo. Makes sense. They're both getting based in San Francisco at the time. And then another 2 decades would go by until FICO became available through all three of the main consumer reporting agencies, Equifax, Experian, and TransUnion. Just a couple of years later, and this blows my mind because it seems like FICO should have been around forever, but it was only in 95 that Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac chose FICO, essentially started recommending that lenders use FICO as the standard for credit scoring in their system. Okay, what about the Vantage Score? Vantage Score is really FICO's only major competitor, and it's been around since 2006. It was developed and introduced as a joint project by the three consumer reporting agencies, Equifax, Experian, and TransUnion, as a competitor to FICO. They thought, okay, let's create our own, because they, of course, have to have contracts with FICO to be able to take the information that they gather and then run it through a FICO FICO model so that the lenders have a quick and automated way of determining if they're going to approve somebody's loan. So this was a way that they thought maybe we can compete and not have to pay so much, or not have to send our information outside. It initially was set up very different to the FICO score, and as a result, and in fact, it was very consumer friendly. It looked like a grade that you would get in school: A, B, C, D, and F. 900s, in the 900s was an A, and the 800s was a B, so forth. But lenders didn't have their system set up that way. Well, most free credit scores that you're going to get nowadays are going to be a Vantage Score. Probably, except for where you have to sign up for a membership, a lot of those are going to be FICOs. But most of these places where you can just sign up for a free account, get a free credit score, 85–90% of them are going to be Vantage scores. Okay, originally, like I said, it was set up here like A, B, C, D, and F. And it was so easy. It's like, yay, finally a credit score that makes sense to the little people instead of just for the businesses. But businesses didn't want to change. And so in 2013, Vantage Score changed with the Vantage Score 3.0 to make it look very much like the FICO score, 300 on the low end to 850 on the upper end. Okay, what does it mean to have good score? What's a good score, bad score, great score, and so forth? Which one of these is a good score? Is it the 690? Is it the 720? Do you have to have an 850? You have to have a perfect score. What does that mean to have, what do you get if you have an 800 versus somebody who has a 750? What's the difference? What about bad score? Is a 300 the only bad score, or is a 490 bad, 515, 600, 670? What does it mean to have a bad credit score? Well, opinions vary. You can look online, you'll find a lot of differences out there. Here, experience shows that if you have, right here, exceptional is 800 to 850, and very poor will be 300 to 579. Very specific. Fair is 580 to 669. They're very specific, right? You look over there at NerdWallet there on the right, and again, excellent score is 720 instead of 800. Excellent is 720 all the way to 850. That's a huge difference in the range. What about, and the bad score goes all the way up to 629. You look at STEM lending, a lender down there, and they say, no, excellent credit starts around 750. Bad credit goes up to 560. Compare Cards has something that starts at 800 as well. Or the graphic from sourced with Al Bingham, the author of Road to 820, shows that excellent credit would be 780 to 850. And so it's just all over the map. What do you do? What do you trust? What do they mean? Why does it matter, really? If I have a 820, does that mean I'm doing better than somebody who has a 790? Okay. Here's what the good credit score is just this. An excellent credit score is what gives you the lowest loan interest rates at a given lender. So it's going to vary from lender to lender. It matters based on the lender, not on your score. Your score, you can't say, oh, I've got an 800, so I have excellent credit. What if there was a lender, and there aren't, but what if there's a lender that said you have to have an 805 to get our best interest rates? In their eyes, your 800 is not good enough. Most lenders, it is in the 750, 760 range, but some lenders will go down to 690 and give you their best interest rates at a 690. Others will be 770. It just depends on the lender. So you can't tell people I have this credit score and so I have excellent credit. It's not our choice. It's not our decision to make as consumers. It is up to each individual lender. A good credit score will also get us the lowest insurance premiums possible, because on car loan or car insurance, homeowners insurance, renters insurance, private life insurance policies, most insurance companies are going to include your credit score as a factor in determining your monthly premium. So having a good credit score is going to lower your insurance premiums. You're more likely to get into a better apartment. Some apartments can become a little more exclusive and say, hey, if you want to live in our apartment, you have to have a 700 credit score. Others will say, hey, if you have a 650, we can consider your credit. It just depends on how exclusive they want to be. What you want to do is you want to set up long-term patterns in your credit to build the best credit possible, your best credit score possible. You want to pay all your bills on time, every time. On time, every time. That's probably the number one thing you can do to build excellent credit. You want to keep your balances at or near zero for all your credit cards and store cards. If you're using a store card to get those discounts, great. But don't leave the store until you've stopped at the customer service desk and paid off your account in full. Head home with a zero balance. You got the discount. That was the reward. Don't go home, forget about it, and then get the statement 30 days later and say, oh, now I can't afford the statement. Now I have to start paying 25, 30% interest. That's why they give you the discount, because they know that a certain percentage, a large percentage of their customers are going to end up carrying a balance and paying very high interest. Keep your balances as low as possible for home loans, car loans, student loans, any kind of other loan. Pay down the balance as quickly as you can. And then minimize new applications. Keep your applications limited to 1 or 2 a year if you can. It doesn't mean if you apply for 3 or 4 different loans in a 1-year period that you're going to have terrible credit. Your credit score might drop by 1% or 2% each time you apply for a loan, which is 5-10 points. If you're starting at 800, it's probably not going to make that much of a difference when you apply for loans. But if you're starting at 750 and you apply for 5 loans, that could take you down maybe even past getting approved for a home loan. That's it. I know this is quick and short and sweet, but hopefully it was sweet. If you thought it was, please do click the like button and do subscribe to our YouTube channel. It'll help us get the word out through YouTube, this important information that helps people manage their credit and their money more effectively. If you would like a certificate of completion, you can just click on that link or go to moneyfit.org/live. Click on the magenta link there. That'll take you to where you can get the certificate. You put in your name, how you want it on your certificate, the email address you want it sent to. You choose the name of this course from December 2020, the credit score range. Enter in this passcode, Ranger1220. Ranger1220. That is your passcode. That'll get you your certificate. No capital letters, no spaces. RANGER 1220. And that will be delivered within a minute or less. Thank you. If you have any questions, please do give me a call, send me an email. Happy to hear from you. That's why we're a nonprofit, is to address any concerns or offer any help that we can to our communities. Hope you have yourself a great day, and thank you again for joining us.